Welcome to the Dakota Dome in Vermillion, South Dakota. It's the WNIT Semifinals. The Oregon Ducks visiting the University of South Dakota Coyotes. And how is everybody doing? Alongside Brad Newitt, I am Jay Elson. And Brad, at this point, these teams have gotten past the disappointment of not making the NCAA tournament. They've got one very clear goal in mind, and that is becoming WNIT champions.
When you reach this point, you can see the end in sight, and certainly both these squads are saving their best basketball, maybe for the end of the year. Oregon, without their best players, hit an amazing stride, and South Dakota is playing great basketball here down the stretch as well.
Let's take a look at the players to watch for this game. First for Oregon, Lexi Peterson, a senior out of Tukwila, Washington. Brad, this girl can really light it up from outside.
Well, she is a great three-point shooter, second best in the Pac-12, but that's not all she does. She's great around the basket, getting to the rim off the bounce as well. Physical, strong player, and she's scoring 18 points a game in this WNIT tournament. She's really leading Oregon.
On the other side for South Dakota, it's pretty much the usual suspect. That is Nicole Seekamp. Brad, she's upped her game in the postseason, but we're used to seeing that out of this young lady.
Well, she's always been a great scorer, and she is setting up her teammates amazingly well in this tournament as well, to the tune of over almost 10 assists a game. She had 9 in their last outing, and she's such a complete player, Jay. This team really feeds off of her emotion as well. She's the leader of this group, and there's no question she's been the charge that's been leading this group in the WNIT.
Seekamp had a career-high 14 assists in their win over Minnesota in round 2. And stay tuned, my opening tip is coming up next. Oregon and South Dakota live on Midco Sports Network. Final Four, one of the most treasured terms in sports. It signifies success and represents excellence, even in the WNIT. South Dakota has already taken out Creighton, Minnesota, Northern Iowa, and most recently Western Kentucky, proving they're in it to win it. Tonight, Amy Williams and company will attempt to recapture that Dakota Dome magic one more time against Oregon. It's the Ducks and the Coyotes in the semifinals of the WNIT. Back inside the Dakota Dome in Vermillion, South Dakota. Tip-off nearing for this WNIT semifinal between Oregon and South Dakota. Jay Elson, Brad Newitt, courtside for this one. The third member of our broadcast team is Carla Metz.
Hey guys, well just yesterday, head coach Amy Williams was asked about losing that Summit League Tournament Championship game earlier this month. She said, of course, there was initial disappointment, but said she's more impressed with her team's ability to refocus on a new goal at the WNIT. Now they're in the Final Four as the last team standing in the state of South Dakota. And senior Tyhee Miller says this senior class sees tonight as an opportunity to leave an even bigger legacy on this program.
Take a look at the starting lineups now, brought to you by the Diamond Room. Maite Cazorla, a very talented freshman running the point for Oregon. Also, we talked about Lexi Peterson, Lexi Bando, another young lady who can really hit that shot from outside, Brad. She's a 44% career three-point shooter. For South Dakota, one change in this one, at least according to what we've gotten used to seeing this season. Jasmine Triboli actually making her third consecutive start in place of Caitlin Duffy. Duffy injured her ankle prior to their game against Northern Iowa, though she is going to play tonight. She's going to come off the bench just as she did Sunday against Western Kentucky. Jasmine Triboli, though, has proven very capable of filling that starting spot.
Yeah, not a bad sub to be able to bring into that spot for Amy Williams, because Triboli, a great shooter as well.
Kelly Graves in his second season as the head man at Oregon, 37-27 record with the Ducks. Amy Williams now in her fourth year at the University of South Dakota, already the second all-time winningest coach in Coyote women's basketball history. Let's take a look at your WNIT semifinals. Oregon and South Dakota here tonight in Vermillion. The winner of this one gets either Michigan or Florida Gulf Coast. That game will be played tomorrow night down in Florida. And so obviously these teams going to be very interested to see what happens there, at least the winner anyway. And that championship game slated for 2 o'clock Central Time this Saturday with a location to be determined. There are a lot of people in the stands here tonight, Brad Newitt.
The dome is rocking. The dome won't die, Jay. They have been saying, could this be the last game in the Dakota Dome for basketball? It keeps coming back, and we're going to have a great one here tonight.
Yeah, this is what, the fourth last game in the Dakota Dome, I think, at this point, but obviously a building that is really rich in Coyote basketball tradition. South Dakota has been extremely successful here, both on the men's and women's side, but they wanted to get the advantage of playing at home, and that's the luxury of playing in a tournament like the WNIT. You can host. It's not necessarily a seeding thing.
Exactly, and this USD team has been great on this home floor. 15-1 this year. That one blemish to another Pac-12 team in Washington. And we know Washington, they're playing in the NCAA Final Four.
By the way,
let's see how they can do here tonight against Oregon.
Jacinta Vandenberg wins the tip for Oregon, and the Ducks control it. We are underway in Vermillion, the WNIT semifinals. The winner moves on to Saturday's title game. There's a look at Lexi Peterson for the first time tonight. Number 33, Kat Cooper. Maite Cazorla kicks to the corner. They do a lot of this. The Ducks' first one rattles off, won't go, and Nicole Seekamp controls the rebound.
Early in a game like this, you got a big crowd, a lot of juice in the building, I think, as a player. How do you settle into this and make sure you play your game?
Here is Jasmine Triboli, again making her third consecutive start here in the WNIT. Loses the handle, and it's an early turnover for South Dakota. Cazorla brings it back into the front court for Oregon.
As you watch this Oregon team, they lead the nation in three-point percentage. Excellent from the perimeter.
At Cooper, 0 for 2 to start tonight. Cooper was red hot in their game against UTEP on Monday night. She hit 4 threes, 14 points. Back for Nicole Seekamp, can't get the roll.
In the WNIT, this Oregon group is shooting over 50% from the three-point line. So big focus for USD coming into this one. Guard the perimeter, make sure you contest shots. You want a hand in the face.
Led the nation this season in three-point shooting. As you said, Brad, 52% in this tournament. It has been ridiculous how good this team has been shooting the basketball. Cazorla, the runner, left it short. Rebound for McLeod.
We're going to be very aggressive on the perimeter on certain players. He-Miller having a hard time catching that one.
That's a tough shot over the extended arm of Vandenberg. He stands 6'5", and a little too strong from He-Miller. Back come the other way, and Triboli knocks it out of bounds, out of the hands of Oregon. The Ducks, though, do keep it with 23 seconds on the shot clock.
This is an Oregon team 24-10 this year, and had their ups and downs in the Pac-12. This is a team that really had their sights on making the NCAA tournament, got knocked out of that Pac-12 tournament right away, and then didn't make the big one. They've rebounded well in this WNIT.
Vandenberg off the window, too strong. Nobody's able to get the lid off here early. We played 2.5 minutes. Jasmine Triboli, the Coyotes are on the board first, and there's that crowd. They were just waiting for the opportunity to cheer about something. Brad and Jasmine Triboli provided the opportunity.
Well, we already talked about how good Oregon is from the three-point line. Jay, USD's no slouch either. They're top 10 in the country in three-point shooting. Triboli, one of those players that's a great three-point look.
Zorla working on He-Miller. Kicks it out. Here's Peterson. She's going to put it on the floor and draw the foul. That'll go against Margaret McLeod, her first.
Lexi Peterson's one of those complete guards. She can shoot the three, but if you close out hard and not under control, she'll put it to the deck, and that's exactly what happened there to Kelly Stewart. You know, you're worried about the three-point shot as a defender, and then the blow-by the offensive player.
Peterson. First one too strong. Here comes Caitlin Duffy, J.C. Bradley, and Kate Liveringhouse. 3 early substitutions for Amy Williams, who's not going to change a thing. She's had a deep bench all year, and she's going to continue that here in this WNIT semifinal.
This USD's team is a squad that will easily play 11 players on a regular basis. That's just who they are.
Pressure off the free throw for Oregon. Coyotes break it. Kelly Stewart brings it across the timeline.
So far, Oregon has been man-to-man defensively. This is a team, though, that will mix it up. They will play some 2-3 zone as well.
Lexi Peterson lost focus on Kelly Stewart for just a second, and Stewart pulled the trigger.
This is got a matchup here that could just be fantastic with the guard play.
Wide open look, Lexi Peterson. Oregon still struggling, no field goals through 3.5 minutes. Caitlin Duffy, 3 3-pointers, and it's a 9-1 South Dakota lead. Oregon has been in this position before, Brad, just the other night down in El Paso in a very hostile environment, trailed by 18 in the first half against UTEP. Of course, came back to win that game by 4. Vandenberg quiets the crowd right at the other end.
That shows good poise there by Oregon. You know, the outside shot, they've missed a few. You go inside to a big body in Vandenberg, and she gets an easy one.
Coyotes again handle the pressure. Seacamp sets the offense. 15 on the shot clock. Liveringhouse, high post, gives it back here to Seacamp. Trying to get back inside or past them, intercepted by Vandenberg. A couple of early turnovers for the Coyotes. Seacamp to steal, right back, gets that turnover. Stewart to the other end, lays it in. Wasn't the fastest of fast breaks, Bradley, but it works.
Exactly. You turn a great defensive play into some easy offense. And those are big plays in a game like this.
11-3 South Dakota. Lexi Bando, and the first 3 has dropped for the Ducks.
You can't be late getting through screens, and Bando, a quick release there, and knocked in that triple.
Seacamp stretches the floor. Here's J.C. Bradley, and a miscommunication there between her and Liveringhouse. Knocked out of bounds. Another early turnover for South Dakota. But the Coyotes off to a great start. Hitting some threes. They're up 5 with 4:40 to go, first quarter.
This WNIT semifinal game on Midco Sports Network is presented by the Vermilion Area Chamber and Development Company and the University of South Dakota.
4:40 to go, first quarter, 11-6 Coyotes. Nicole Seacamp doing her thing, Brad, forcing the turnover. The Coyotes convert at the other end.
Well, she is great at getting steals, almost 3 a game, and when you can get that, which turns into easy offense on the other end, the layup for Stewart, those are momentum-type plays, and USD's off to a great start here.
And for their first 6 shots, they're 3 of 4 from outside. Oregon, meanwhile, 2 of 7 from the floor to start here tonight. Let me see, Bando, though, did just hit their first triple before the break. Maybe that is what will help the Ducks get going a little bit offensively. Back we come with Lexi Peterson. Zorla rotates here to Peterson, trying to get inside to Vandenberg. And a 3-second call whistled against Jacinta Vandenberg.
Well, Vandenberg has become more and more of a focus of this Oregon offense here of late. You can see they're starting to go into her more and more, looking for her in the post.
Vandenberg averaging just under 10 points a game in the WNIT, and to go along with 8 rebounds. Her season averages about 5 and 5. She's really picked it up here in the postseason.
She really has. The rebounding is going to be a big thing to watch here. South Dakota's off to a great start as well, especially on the defensive end, where Oregon has missed 5 shots. South Dakota's been able to get all those defensive boards so far.
Coyotes have controlled the glass more often than not this season. Oregon didn't rebound it particularly well in terms of Pac-12 play, 8th in the conference. Inside to Abigail Fogg, nice touch off the window.
In my opinion, one of the most improved players on this USD squad, Jay, and what Fogg has been able to bring this team in the second half of the season off the bench in the low post.
Cat Cooper trying to get it inside. Fogg, though, fronted Vandenberg and intercepted the pass.
Great defensive play on the other end.
J.C. Bradley out of control, an offensive foul as Cat Cooper stepped in to take the charge.
South Dakota being very aggressive offensively, and that's kind of who they are, but the turnovers have started to mount here now. 4 turnovers on USD here in this first quarter. That's a tough call, a little bit under the basket.
Yeah. Inside the arc, secondary defender to boot. Oregon down 7 as we approach 3 minutes to play first quarter.
Bottom line, though, is USD's getting it done on this end, Jay. They've held Oregon just 2 of 7 so far, and this is a team that's really been playing well offensively in the Ducks.
Zorla resets, 5 seconds on the shot clock. A quick trigger, pull-up 3 is good.
Well, you see Zorla, she's probably one of the best freshman point guards in the country at any level.
Miller finds Fogg outside. J.C. Bradley rolls off, put back for Miller.
The leading rebounder on this USD squad at 5'8". Miller doing it on the backside board.
Not a lot of point guards, particularly in the Summit League, rebound the basketball as well as Ty Miller. She leads the Coyotes in that category this season, Brad, but just 5 per game, and that's saying something considering how good this team is on the glass. Andos rolls off this time.
It's a team effort, and right there you see Miller cleaning up the defensive board.
Foley kicks to the corner. Here's Bradley. Pulls up off the front iron. Abigail Fogg kept it alive, and the Coyotes get another chance. Fogg now baseline jumper. She started it, and she got to finish it.
Well, she's playing with so much confidence now, and the transfer from American University just took her some time, quite frankly, Jay, to get acclimated into this system here for Amy Williams, and boy, she's really come on strong.
When she started to turn the corner, and that's when you really saw South Dakota take things to another level. They were pretty good before that, but Abigail Fogg was a big reason they continued that success throughout the entirety of the Summit League season.
Well, and it's a big reason why they've gotten better defensively, too, because they're able to bring her off the bench. She's great protecting the rim in and around the paint. She's showing it on both ends of the floor here so far.
Seacamp back into the lineup for Amy Williams and the Coyotes. And how about the bench there with Seacamp out of the game, maintaining control.
Exactly.
Adding to the lead.
Yeah, that's what's made this USD squad so good.
Offensive foul whistle against number 11, Liz Brenner, the redshirt senior out of Portland, Oregon. Couple of turnovers on that end for Oregon as well here in the early going. 4 apiece.
Yeah, that part of the game's evened up, and South Dakota has done a better job here the last few minutes taking care of it on this end.
Baseline for Seacamp. Oh, the Coyotes are dialed in offensively, Brad. 8 of 13 from the floor now.
Now to add to that, they've hit 3 of 5 from 3, so they're winning the battle of the three-point arc as well.
Foul's going to be whistled against Ty Miller. It'll be her first, and the second team foul against South Dakota here in the first quarter.
Now, USD's so good at getting their star player open. An unselfish team, Jay, that will screen for her and get her open on the baseline runner right there.
That's led the Summit League just under 18 assists per game, and that's a pretty good example right there.
USD's ball screen defense has been excellent so far. They've covered up very well, containing Oregon's guards here. Hard show right there, case in point.
Peterson turns it over. Bridget Arns steps in and absorbs the contact. No call there, says the official.
Now, there's a lot of ways you can guard the ball screen. This is what's called a hard show, and Arns did a great job holding her position there.
Coyotes with the shot clock off can hold for the final shot of this first quarter, leading by 10. Miller lost the handle, got it back. Here's Seacamp. 5 seconds to play in the first quarter. Abigail Fogg off the back of the rim. That's going to do it for the first quarter. And what an opening 10 minutes for South Dakota. Coyotes lead Oregon by 10.
Well, Oregon would not be where they're at this season without the play of their All-American, 2-time All-American, Jillian Aline, and she went down with a devastating knee injury, has not been able to play, Jay, here down the stretch of the season. That's been what's remarkable about this Oregon run in the WNIT is they've done it without their best player. You can see 19 points, 14 rebounds. Jay, she is third all-time of all women's basketball players in rebounding in her career in the NCAA, and certainly been a huge loss from Kelly Graves in this team, but they have kind of regrouped. Yeah. And they found a new stride, and they've been playing great basketball in this tournament without her.
Aline, just the third player in NCAA history, Brad, to post 27-plus double-doubles in back-to-back seasons. That's incredible.
That is incredible. And certainly they've had to change the way they played without her, but to their credit, they've been able to do it. Everyone's kind of stepped up contributions, scoring, rebounding, and they've been able to get the job done.
Foley nearly turned it over. Gets it back, pulls up from the elbow. Can't connect, but another second chance opportunity. This one for Margaret McLeod.
Well, that was an area where I really felt South Dakota could have an advantage on the O glass, and they're doing it so far with 3 offensive boards.
3 offensive boards in 6 second chance points. 21-9, South Dakota. It's a 12-point lead, largest of the night. Backdoor Bando, good find there from Cazorla.
She's great at setting up her teammates in Cazorla. I mean, she is a point guard that can do everything, and you see it right there.
A lead on that pass into the front court from Seacamp. Put it right in the empty spot of the floor for Jasmine Trimboli. Kelly Stewart had 5 first-quarter points. That one's in and out. Another offensive rebound, though. This one for Trimboli.
South Dakota continues to give themselves second opportunities when they do miss, and they haven't missed that many. They're shooting over 50%.
Seacamp into the paint. I think she thought she was going to get the foul there. Didn't. Too strong off the window. Cazorla comes back the other way for Oregon. Bando faked the pass, takes the 3 instead, and nails it just like that. It's a 7-point game.
Don't count Oregon out by any stretch here, because when they can shoot the 3 as well as they do, they're going to score in bunches, so they have the ability to do that.
Let's check in with Carla Metz.
Hey guys, yeah, I talked with Ducks assistant coach Mark Campbell before the game. He said he's pretty much coached 2 different teams this season after losing their All-American Jillian Aline to an ACL injury, lost their last 2 regular season games and missed NCAA hopes. Their team was pretty deflated. Campbell asked his kids after the Pac-12 tournament if they wanted to do the WNIT, said if they did, it had to be on their own accord, and said they took the week off, came back, told them they wanted to participate, and said they've had a different level of focus ever since.
That's a pretty cool story. Yeah. I mean, you would have to. I mean, you'd have to figure it out and get over that emotional trauma.
Oregon went zone for the first time in this game. USD was ready for that, Jay. Beautiful setup there by Seacamp, finding Kelly Stewart along the baseline.
Talking about Cazorla and setting up her teammates. There's not many better in this part of the country anyway than Nicole Seacamp. This part of the country, or any part of the country for that matter.
Well, she's the all-time assist person in the Summit League history. That tells you enough right there for Seacamp. And you don't see a team's leading scorer often leading in them in assists, but for USD that's the case.
Also set USD's single-season assist record in the win over Western Kentucky. Kat Cooper gets the roll. 6-point game, 23-17, 7:30 to go before the half.
Well, Oregon only hit 2 threes in that first quarter. They've already got 2 threes in the first 2 minutes of this one.
15 on the shot clock as Seacamp sets up the offense. Into the paint for Liveringhouse. Duffy goes back inside to the sophomore and partially blocked that time by Lauren Yearwood. Bando spins away from Seacamp and lays it in. Bando is having quite a first half, Brad. Now 10 points for her.
She's playing with a lot of emotion out there, too. I'm a little bit surprised to see how much Oregon is extending the floor in this game, because I wonder, as this game wears on, are they going to wear out?
The Eagle screen goes against Bridget Arns, and the Coyotes a little out of sorts here to start the second quarter. It's a 10-4 run for the Ducks, and they're going to get another chance here.
Despite maybe expending a lot of energy for Oregon, it is working well for them, because like you said, they've kind of gotten South Dakota out of rhythm offensively, which was the goal, I believe, for Kelly Graves switching to some of that full court extended D.
After that slow start, Oregon now up to 50% from the floor. Lexi Bando, a big part of the reason for that. But she travels this time as Coyote's got a hand on the basketball. She's forced to pin it against her leg.
Great help there by Liveringhouse. Just had a little show there, enough to force the turnover.
Coyotes break the pressure again. J.C. Bradley. Died hard that time from Bando. Coyotes keep control. Here's Bridget Arns. Duffy had the lane closed off there. 5 on the shot clock, inside the Liveringhouse. Trying to step around Vandenberg and couldn't get it up over the top of her. And the foul will be whistled against Liveringhouse.
USD needs to get post touches. That's how their offense can play through, but this is not the position you want to be in late shot clock, because Vandenberg is great inside with her 6'5" size. Yeah, you can see, anticipated that one well, an easy block shot.
Vandenberg had a huge advantage on Caitlin Duffy there. Ducks get it back, second chance. Cazorla's 3 won't go though. Duffy, open look, got it. Caitlin Duffy's come off the bench, Brad, and given this team a nice spark. She's got 2 3-pointers.
4 of 6 from deep for USD, and they're really shooting it well as a team.
Cooper intercepted by Liveringhouse. She was looking for Vandenberg. Back, open look for J.C. Bradley. And a timeout for Kelly Graves. Coyotes, it was getting interesting there, 29-19.
USD started out this game shooting the ball so well from the three-point line. And that's what they are great at as a team. And then also the defensive turnover leading to the transition as well. And USD was rolling after the first quarter. But Oregon's made a good comeback here in the second quarter. They've got this to a 10-point game to the Ducks.
This WNIT semifinal game on Midco Sports Network is presented by Shields, CU Mortgage Direct LLC, and Vern ID Motor Cars.
Oregon had got it to within 4, Brad, but the Coyotes come back-to-back threes. First from Caitlin Duffy, then this one from J.C. Bradley, the freshman.
Both these teams, the capability of filling it up fast from deep. We've seen stretches of this game where both teams have done that. You look at the three-point shooting in this game, it's kind of what we expected. These are 2 great perimeter teams, and both of them shooting 50% or better from the three-point line.
Good look there for Peterson. Oregon 4 of 9 now from outside. Again, 52% from the perimeter in the WNIT. A lot of contact there as Fogg tried to fight her way to the rim. Oregon comes away with a board.
South Dakota's done 2 things on this end very well. Guarding the ball screen and then getting back in transition, Jay. They haven't let Oregon have any transition threes.
Deep 3 for Bando off the back iron. J.C. Bradley's giving the Coyotes some good minutes here in the first half. Deep 3 for Kelly Stewart. The Coyotes are unconscious from outside.
Now Stewart really feeling it. 4 of 5 from the field, and she's got 10 points.
The energy level relatively high inside the Dakota Dome. Coyotes by 13. Nice find there, Cazorla to Vandenberg. There's that pinpoint passing that we talked about from the freshman from Las Palmas, Spain.
She's made such a huge impact on this Oregon squad, and a seasoned player. She's played a lot of international basketball. Was on the 19U team for Spain this year. They got 3rd place in the World Championships. But
an answer for the international from South Dakota, Abigail Fogg. Coyotes have had the counter to everything Oregon's thrown at them in this first half.
Exactly. Every time Oregon's made a big basket or two, USD's answered in a big way.
Very little room to breathe here for Oregon in this first half. The Coyotes have had a lot of intensity on that defensive end. And another miss, another rebound, one chance opportunity for Oregon. Back comes Trimboli, called for the charge. The second one we've seen Cat Cooper draw in this first half.
Oregon's doing a nice job anticipating some of that. But it's this kind of aggressive play on the offensive end, though, that's made USD great in this game. I mean, that's why they're shooting 54%.
Cooper got over there in time to draw the charge from Trimboli. Ty Hemeler back into the game for the Coyotes, along with Caitlin Duffy. Get another good look at Oregon head coach Kelly Graves. Pretty accomplished guy, Brad. Head coach at St. Mary's. And then a really good run at Gonzaga.
14 years there, and what a program he built. And he's kind of hired to rebuild this Oregon program. They were 13-17 last year. Made a big jump. They've got 24 wins this year.
A win tonight would tie the program record for them with 25 wins in the season.
Switching some of that ball screen action guard to guard. And then there's the show when the big sets it.
Inside, that's the only problem when you rotate out. Fogg came out to help, and that left Vandenberg wide open underneath.
That was one of a few times USD didn't get that roll picked up. Oregon made him pay.
Approaching the 2-minute mark of this first half. Explosive offensive 18 minutes here for South Dakota in this WNIT semifinal. Duffy wants a third three-pointer. Caitlin Duffy. 3 for 3 from outside. It's a 14-point lead for South Dakota. Their largest of the first half, and a travel back the other way for Oregon, whistled against Lexi Peterson.
Jay, USD hit 12 threes in their win Sunday over Western Kentucky. They're 7 of 9 from deep already here tonight.
Another look. That's shooting with confidence.
Yeah.
And she lost it. She started well the first few games here this season. Had a foot injury in December. Caused her to miss the last 3 games of non-conference, Brad, and since then, she's not been the same player offensively, but of late, we saw her do it at Minnesota, hit 5 threes in that one, already 3 tonight, hit a couple in the win over Western Kentucky off the bench on Sunday as well. Foul goes against Maite Cazorla. That's her first, and the first team foul against Oregon in the second quarter.
USC's getting contributions from everybody. In fact, you look at this big lead. Nicole Seekamp's only got 2 points so far in this game. She's only taken 3 shots.
Back inside, length on length. Fogg over the top of Vandenberg. Can't get this one to drop. Under a minute to play. 15 in the shot clock. Cat Cooper, 17-footer. That won't go. Oregon's ice cold all of a sudden. Now 9 of 22 from the floor in the first half.
Shooting right around 40% for a team that has been playing great offensive basketball in this WNIT tournament, Jay. They were the second best offensive team in the Pac-12. Well, you wouldn't know it the way USD's locked them down here so far.
Trimboli avoids the pressure, can't hit the shot, but she does draw the foul. 2 free throws coming up for Jasmine Trimboli.
Here's an area of her game she's really added to as this season's gone on. Not just a 3-point shooter, but the ability to get to the rim and now to the line. This is, believe it or not, going to be USD's first free throw attempt here of this game.
Kyle's 3rd best in the Summer League this season at 71% as a team. Trimboli 81% on her own.
substitution there. Oregon player right off the bench in for Kat Cooper. I don't know if she's injured.
2 for 2 for Trimboli. Shot clock is off. Ducks can keep it for the final shot of the first half. Kyle Faithful, all 5,000 of them on their feet. And a nice take there for Bandos. Had a very good first half. Coyotes have some time to make something happen. Trimboli from the elbow. Won't go, but the Coyotes close the half in a strong fashion anyway. They're up 14 at the break on Oregon.
What a second quarter for USD. Jay, they've really just playing excellent basketball. Put 20 points on the board here in this quarter, and they're just shooting the ball with so much confidence, playing very well together on the offensive end.
Remember, Oregon scored 10 of the first 14 points in that quarter. Coyotes rally, stretched the lead back to 14. Their head coach, Amy Williams, is with Carla Metz.
All right, thanks, guys. Coach, you thought coming into this game the Ducks' size was going to be a factor. How do you think your team's matching up with them so far?
Well, we've done a pretty good job of getting out to that three-point line, but we haven't really guarded their ball screen action very well, and they've gotten loose down in the paint a couple times, so we're going to have to try to clean that up in the second half.
All right, thanks so much, Coach. Guys, don't count the Ducks out. Oregon's had a slow start in 3 of their 4 WNIT games. It's been the second half. They've made up ground. We'll see if that's the case tonight.
Yeah, they shot 70% in the second half at UTEP on Monday. Can they do it again? You're playing with fire when you're talking about double-digit disadvantages on the road. And they find themselves down 14 at the break here at the Dakota Dome. 39-25 South Dakota. Back with more from Vermillion right after this. Welcome back to the Dakota Dome. Halftime of this WNIT semifinal. South Dakota on top of Oregon by a score of 39-25. Jay Elson back courtside here at the Dakota Dome, joined now by the Director of Athletics here at the University of South Dakota, David Herbster. And David, I got to imagine you're a pretty happy guy with the way that first 20 minutes went.
You know, you always come into a game like this when you get to this point in time during the season in a tournament, you really never know. Teams should be pretty evenly matched. But for us to come out as hot as we did and be able to make open shots, and I think the big thing, too, for us was defend as well as we did. So I'm probably not near as pleased as Amy is right now.
She's never pleased. I've learned that in the last 4 years. But let's talk about this environment, David. First and foremost, huge crowd for the 3rd straight game in this WNIT tournament. And I know it's a unique situation. When you play in this versus, say, the NCAA tournament, you get the opportunity to bid to host games. You as the administration step forward. I know you had some help here to get it done and get this game here. How valuable is it given what we're seeing tonight?
Well, and I think what we've noticed as we've gone through the tournament and as the NIT representatives have been here, they've seen the crowds, they've seen the support, and that plays a huge part in it. You know, and a financial package in the bid is certainly a part of it, but it's the crowd base, it's travel, it's a whole host of things. But to see and to feel the environment in here is a big reason. I just had one of the administrators from Oregon tell me now she knows why we're hosting tonight.
You got to take that as a compliment, right?
Definitely do. And certainly you look at everybody around here that's in here, and this is a testament to them of why this game is here in Vermillion. Well,
and to further that, I mean, I know you don't want to get ahead of yourself. Coaches, administrators never do. But at the same time, if this game holds and you guys do end up winning, what's next? I mean, how likely is it that Saturday we're back here again?
Well, I can say we put in a pretty aggressive bid to make sure that we have an opportunity to host it. And the hope is that our women players put us in the position to make it a hard, tough call on the WNIT. Sure. But I think what you see around here right now, this is the type of atmosphere that they want to have on television. Absolutely. And I can guarantee you this, we've had just about 5,000 people in the Dome right now. And if we host again, should you win, you host again on Saturday, there'll be 1,000 more in here after that.
Absolutely. Well, and this is just part of the excitement surrounding the University of South Dakota right now, this run in the WNIT and all the fan support that we're seeing. Obviously, next door, there's another very large and expensive reason to be excited. And, we're getting some looks now at what this place looks like as of this week. You got to be able to feel this now. This is really close to being a reality, right?
If you thought it was loud in here for this game, it'll be twice as loud. You put this many people in that facility. But we're getting close to the point where we're punch listing rooms, and it's taking shape to the point that you feel like even in certain areas you could move in. I mean, that's the feeling. So that anticipation, you're looking at a Christmas tree, and presents underneath it, but right now you can't unwrap them.
How hard is that?
It's really tough. It's really tough to keep me out of there right now, honestly, because you want to go in there every single day and check on everybody and make sure that they're doing it. But the Mortensen and construction, Fegan Construction have been doing an outstanding job. The design team we've put in a lot of thought and detail into this, and you've got a very workable group, even with our planning and construction team on campus with Lauren Wilcox and the other crew that have really made sure that the attention to detail, it's pretty personal for them too. So everybody puts a lot of effort to making sure that this thing really looks good.
There's more to it than just the basketball arena. Obviously, you've got the new soccer complex, the new outdoor track and field complex. That's all part of the package. And those facilities, driving in today, you saw the soccer team out there utilizing their space. The outdoor track and field championships for the Summit League coming up in just a month and change here. So you're going to have events there very, very quickly. But overall, as a project, from a scope, if you had to put a percentage on completion, where is it at?
I'd say you're looking at about 80 to 85% complete right now. And, the track and soccer complex, I'm putting more along the lines of 95%. They're just finishing up some punch list items right now. And so that's why we're able to get our teams out there and start utilizing those facilities right now. And as far as the arena goes, I mean, we're at the finish work at this point. We still got to put in the floors in the main court and the back courts. We still got to put the flooring in the weight room and some other things like that are big items, and then we can continue to finish out those rooms after that. But we are, the contractors will tell you that they're ahead of schedule. Well, they're pushing all the subcontractors pretty hard to make sure they get to that point. But that crew takes a lot of pride in putting together a first-rate project.
Overall, from an athletic standpoint, is there ever been a more exciting time at the University of South Dakota?
I look at the last 10 years, and once you made the move to Division I, and then you kind of get into the Summit League, and things start falling into place. And then you get to the point to build a project like this. We built this program into Division I, and now you can build Division I facilities for this university. The growth that President Abbott has built on this campus is tremendous, and it's night and day to what it looked like when I got here in 2007.
Sure. Yep.
And it is impressive. I constantly talk to some alums that haven't been on campus in a long time, and once they get here, they're absolutely astounded when they get here.
Well, congratulations, David, on everything going on. Congratulations on the score as it stands right now. I know you're going to be a nervous guy for another 20 minutes of game time, but certainly enjoy this. What an experience tonight. What an atmosphere.
Well, no, thanks, Jay. Thanks for all your support, Midco Sports, and being able to be here tonight and to be able to show this to the region is huge for us. So thank you.
Good luck, David. Thanks a lot.
Jay.
All right, again, halftime score here in Vermillion. South Dakota leading Oregon 39-25. Back with more right after this. Halftime in Vermillion. Once again, the score, South Dakota on top of Oregon in this WNIT semifinal contest. 39-25. What an explosive offensive half. Brad, we're used to seeing that out of this Coyote team, but boy, they got off to a great start. Meanwhile, Oregon, we talked about their prowess from outside coming in. Lexi Bando was a pretty good example of that.
Well, she hit 2 3-pointers. Oregon's hit 4 of them in the first half. I think USD's got to be pretty happy with that overall, Jay.
Bando 12 points to lead all scorers here at the break on 5 of 9 shooting, but the outside shooting for South Dakota was awfully good. The count 7 of 9.
And led by Caitlin Duffy, 3 for 3 from the 3-point line off the bench.
Kelly Stewart, 10 points to lead the Coyotes in that first half. She was good inside, outside, everywhere.
Yeah, she was really playing with a good offensive rhythm. And I thought Nicole Seekamp, even though she didn't score a lot, was doing a nice job setting Stewart up.
Take a look at your halftime stats brought to you by Montgomery's Furniture, Flooring, and Window Fashions. Brad, 15 of 29, and again, 7 of 9 3-point shooting really jumps off the page.
Well, yeah, that's going to be hard to maintain for South Dakota, but they're a team, though, that can really shoot it well from the perimeter. But the rebounding, a big thing, +6, and then the bench points. South Dakota's got everybody involved in this game that's played.
39-25, South Dakota at the half. Back with more from the Dakota Dome after this. 39-25, South Dakota at the half. Getting set for the start of our second half. And head coach of the Oregon Ducks, Kelly Graves, is with Carla Metz.
All right, thanks, guys. Coach, 14-point deficit. What do you have to see from your defense this next half?
Well, number one, we got to defend the 3. They really only got 1 3 in transition, so they got 6 of them just in the half court. I mean, you know, you're not going to beat South Dakota anywhere, let alone here, you know, allowing that kind of efficiency from the three.
All right, thanks so much, Coach. Guys, Oregon's been shooting 53% from the three through the WNIT, but right now USD is beating them at their own game, shooting 78% that first half.
Second half coming up next. Coyotes by 14. Well, Brad, one of the numbers that really jumped off the page through 20 minutes, bench play for South Dakota, 18-0. The Coyotes have outscored the Ducks.
And South Dakota's always been a team-oriented offensive unit. They get great production off their bench, but especially tonight, and especially from the perimeter in the form of Caitlin Duffy, J.C. Bradley. Those two players have hit 4 of the USD 7 3-pointers.
Caitlin Duffy again, 3 for 3 on the night. All 3 of those shots came from beyond the arc. She came off the bench. This is the second straight game she's done that since injuring her ankle prior to their third-round win over Northern Iowa. But she's looked plenty healthy tonight, shooting with confidence. The Ducks, though, come out first chance offensively, and Cazorla has it roll off. Coyotes up 14 here to start the third quarter, Brad, but anything but comfortable. They know what this Oregon team did at UTEP on Monday night in the second half.
Turnovers like that can really hurt you if you're USD, because you don't want to let Oregon get out in transition. Nice job covering that mistake up, though, for the Yokes.
Vandenberg working on McLeod. Back for Bando, 12 points for her in the first half, blocked by McLeod.
That's just great team defense by USD. Right there to help on the drive and force a tough shot.
Margaret McLeod from 18 feet. You don't see her step outside from the basket all that often. And this one's going to be tied up on the floor. It's going to go to South Dakota on alternating possession.
In the first half, the loose balls, the 50-50 balls went USD's way. And here's another example right here. Who's going to get it? And it looks like Oregon's got it. And that's just a great example there. Kelly Stewart not giving up on the play, Jay.
Coyotes keep it. E-Miller inbounds, gets it to McLeod. And a holding call will be charged to Lexi Peterson.
Yeah, she's trying to shadow Nicole Seekamp. And give Oregon some credit. They did a nice job on Seekamp defensively. Didn't let her get going. Seekamp with just 2 points in that first half. But, Jay, the quality of player Seekamp is, she had 4 assists and really helped her team in that way.
Bowley skips it across. Here is Seekamp. Creates some space and splashes it from well outside the arc.
You can't go out and guard her that far away. If you do, she'll drive right by you.
That just goes to show you how much respect you have to pay for. As soon as she took that little stutter step, Cazorla backed off. That gave her all the space she needed, and a foul underneath whistled against Vandenberg.
You said it, Jay. The step here, watch this jab, just enough to get the defense. Just a little bit is all it took.
Gave her another foot of separation, and she took it. Kept alive, Seekamp. 2 in a row. And it's a 20-point lead for South Dakota.
This team is on fire right now.
Cazorla back quickly, though, for Oregon. Lays it in. Coyotes pushing the tempo right back. They're good at this counterpunch game. And now a travel going to be called against Ty He-Miller. How often do we see that with South Dakota offensively, Brad? Give up a lay-in and then push it up the other end, and within 3 seconds, they've got that bucket back.
They don't mind the up-and-down game. In fact, they're better at it when the game can be more open court. We've seen it tonight, though. Every time Oregon's had a basket, South Dakota's right there answering. And how about USD? They're 9 of 11 right now from 3.
I give Oregon credit on that last one, Brad. They got back down the floor, didn't allow that easy lay-in, and forced the turnover and the travel from He-Miller. Rebound for Liveringhouse.
It's great defense there by He-Miller, holding her ground.
Good look for He-Miller. Oh, my. Timeout for Kelly Graves. It's 48-27. South Dakota, the Coyotes have picked up right where they left off, beyond the arc. Well, we talked about the hot shooting from outside, Brad, in that first half for South Dakota. The break didn't hurt them. They're still red hot.
Yeah, they didn't cool off. Beautiful setup here by Seekamp, and the respect she earns as an offensive player draws the defense to her, and then the kick to her teammate on the perimeter, and Miller.
5 points for Miller, one of the top three-point shooters in the Summit League this season. Gets her first tonight. 48-27, largest lead of the night for South Dakota.
Oregon's played from deficits, but they haven't had to play from a deficit like this in the second half. This is going to be a huge uphill battle for the Ducks.
Liveringhouse reached over the top of Vandenberg, and she's whistled for her second personal. I think as a coach, you're okay with that aggression.
Oh, totally, and you're trying to get around. You've got a front in there. You can't play behind Vandenberg at 6'5", because she's just got too much size.
Zorla wanted to go baseline. Miller took it away, forced a tough shot, and the Coyotes come away with the basketball.
Well, you're seeing the heady play of a senior there, and Miller, she's very well versed in how to guard the excellent point guard from Oregon.
Liveringhouse, that baby hook. Saw it coming a mile away. Her first field goal of the night stretches the lead now to 23.
Another player that's just so efficient in the post for USD. Shoots over 50%. Took her time.
There's that pick and roll. Good rotation here. Peterson almost had it taken away by Seekamp.
How about the job Seekamp's done defensively on Oregon's leading scorer?
Vandenberg steps around. Triboli almost poked it away, but Vandenberg strong on the basketball, Brad, and lays it in off the window.
I think here's the key. I expect Oregon to extend defensively. They're going to have to try to do some things differently here. If you're South Dakota, you want to handle that. Don't turn it over. Don't give easy breaks for the Ducks in transition.
Triboli. Marche Moore swatted that rebound away, and Oregon able to control it on the backside. Cazorla back, inside out, good look for Peterson. Boy, she struggled to find it tonight.
Credit Nicole Seekamp. She's taken Peterson out of rhythm in this game, even though that was a wide open look.
All the way in for Taya Miller. Nobody stepped to the basketball that time for the Ducks.
Yeah, Oregon, you can tell, they're shell-shocked right now. They ran into a buzzsaw in the USD three-point shooting, and they just haven't been able to get their legs back under them.
Peterson. Nice step around Seekamp. Stopped on a dime, Brad. Headed to her right, quickly back left, and lays it in.
Wow, you can see she's a fantastic player. Also a senior that's played in a lot of games.
Marche Moore got a hand on it, knocked it out of bounds. It'll stay with the Coyotes. 4:53 to play third quarter. 52-31. Nicole Seekamp and the Coyotes rolling at the Dakota Dome.
This WNIT semifinal game on Midco Sports Network is presented by the Vermilion Area Chamber and Development Company and the University of South Dakota.
52-31, South Dakota, 4:53 to go third quarter. Taya Miller, end-to-end for the land.
16 fast break points for this USD offense. They have been high octane all night long.
And Oregon just has not been able to sustain any momentum whatsoever offensively. Even when they do get something, the Coyotes have answered a lot of times from three.
Well, that's the big thing. Oregon just hasn't been able to get defensive stops, and that's affecting them on both ends, Jay, because when you don't get defensive stops, you don't get a chance to get out in transition. Oregon's had to take that thing out of the net a lot tonight.
Zorla nearly got the steal, wanted a foul call, didn't get it. Duffy, 4 for 4. The lid, which is permanent, might come off the Dakota Dome by the end of this night.
Well, this team is just in an unbelievable zone from three. You can see it right there, 11 of 13.
Peterson. Oregon really could have used that bucket to drop. They'll take the free throws.
Well, they're starting to attack more, especially Peterson here. She's gotten to the rim a few times. She's Oregon's best player when it comes to driving to the basket.
Not a lot of free throws in this game. This is just the third and fourth attempts for Oregon. South Dakota just 2 on the night.
That's because there's just quite frankly been a lot of jump shots, which for USD they've been fine with that because they've just been raining them in.
Peterson has all 4 of those attempts from the free throw line for Oregon. She's 2 of 4. 55-32. Abigail Fogg, 6'4" on 6'5", working on Jacinta Vandenberg. She's stuck with it. I'm not sure how she got around her, but she gets the shot to drop.
Fogg has amazing footwork in there, great balance, high degree of difficulty finish.
Kelly Stewart getting set to check in at the next dead ball for South Dakota. Marsha Moore now. Bando. Big first half's been quiet to start the third quarter. Zorla, nice find. Vandenberg, though, can't finish.
USD's doing a great job contesting almost every shot, Jay. Oregon just hasn't had a lot of clean looks.
All the way to the rim for Nicole Seekamp. The Coyotes, it's like they've got a path, Brad. Oregon can't stop them.
Now, Oregon right now, they're just not digging in defensively, and USD's just taking it to them.
Peterson in and out. And again, the Coyotes continue to push that tempo. Bradley leads for Fogg, 18-footer. And another timeout coming here for Kelly Graves. The Coyotes have stretched it to 29 points with 2:46 to go in the third quarter. Abigail Fogg, we talked about the bench play for South Dakota. It's continued here in the third quarter. Abigail Fogg, look at her go at Vandenberg here.
Now, this is one of the best post defenders in the Pac-12, and Fogg able to get the tough basket, and then Seekamp in transition, the hesitation in the finish.
27-0 off the bench. Coyotes outscoring Oregon. Points in the paint, 18-16 in favor of the Coyotes. You're talking about, again, a Pac-12 program who's got a lot of prowess offensively. Granted, they do a lot of their damage from outside, Brad, but when you can hang with a team that's this big in the paint, you're doing something right.
Yeah, USD's really clicking on all cylinders. They're just passing the ball really well. They're attacking at the right times. They're doing it on the defensive end, too. I mean, you don't build this kind of lead without playing well on both ends. And Amy Williams, she's probably almost want to just pinch herself over there as well as her team's playing right now.
She must be feeling a little better. She lost the jacket now. 27-0 again off the bench for South Dakota. The depth of this team has been a huge reason for its success all season. But tonight, it's at a whole nother level. Fogg denies the post entry pass, and J.C. Bradley controls the basketball.
And Fogg wanting it hard inside, and her teammates didn't see her.
Back door, here's Miller. Nice find, Fogg, another lay-in. Abigail Fogg, Brad, 12 points off the bench.
And Jay, USD 16 assists on their 25 made buckets. That also speaks to how well they're playing together.
Zorla can't get it.
It's definitely become one of those nights for Oregon where nothing is going right and everything's going right here for USD. And look at that run that USD's on since the second quarter.
Yeah, remember, Oregon scored 10 of the first 14 points in the second quarter, Brad. So since then, 40-13. Miller. This is unbelievable. 12 of 14 from 3 for South Dakota. 34-point lead on Oregon. Coyote crazies letting the Ducks hear it. Bando has to force one up over Fogg. She disrupts that on the defensive end. Heidi Hoff, the senior, can't get it to go, but she controls the rebound and a second chance here for the Coyotes.
Yeah, Oregon has just ran into a buzzsaw here. They don't even know what's hit them here in the second half, Jay.
Fogg left it short, whistle away, and a foul is called against Oregon. Lexi Peterson charged with her second. Let's see it here.
Now this is just becoming a bad dream for Oregon as you see Peterson whistled for on the back there. She shoves Bradley out of the way. That's a good call.
Yep.
You know, in this quarter, Oregon just 3 of 13 from the field. South Dakota 11 of 15 here in this third quarter. USD's put 27 points on the board in this 10 minutes frame here.
1 second difference between the shot clock and the game clock, so the Coyotes can kill almost the duration of the third quarter here. Five for Hemiller. 15-footer for Stewart. Why not? Cazorla, it'll count if it goes, but it's well short. The Coyotes with a huge third quarter. Caitlin Duffy and her friends feeling it from outside. The junior is 4 for 4 from outside. She's got 12 off the bench. Coyotes by 36 after 3. Take a look at that line score, Brad. Oregon thought it was a little bad at halftime when they were down 14, but boy, I'm not sure they thought it was possible to get worse, but it did.
Well, South Dakota has just been on fire the entire game, and it didn't stop in the locker room. You see there the 29 points in the third quarter, Jay. USD was 12 of 16 there in that third frame, and 5 for 5 from the three-point line.
Well, we talked about Oregon's ability to score in bunches and their ability to overcome double-digit deficits, Brad, but you never want to say it's over, especially with 10 minutes on the clock. But boy, they would have to have something really special happen in this final frame to take this one away from South Dakota. Good start there from Lauren Yearwood as she gets the bump and the bucket, so a chance at a three-point play.
I think the big thing here for South Dakota, don't let up. USD went zone here. It worked well because they forced Oregon to use a lot of clock to get that bucket.
2 of 5 at the free throw line now for Oregon. Yearwood's first points of the night, 68-34, South Dakota. Oh, Duffy finally misses, but Madeline Homley there to wipe it away. She gets the offensive rebound, which the Coyotes have done very well all night, draws the foul on the putback.
It's not like there's been a lot of offensive rebound opportunities, quite frankly, because USD's shooting 60%, but when there have been, USD's been the team hustling after those loose balls, getting themselves second chances. You look in this game at just possessions in the game. There's basically been about 49 possessions. USD's already scored 68 points, Jay, in 49 possessions. That's remarkable.
Let's check in with Carla Metz.
Hey guys, well, we've said it all season. The Dakota Dome gives the Yotes a true home court advantage. USD has gone 30-1 over the last 2 seasons. They've averaged 2,300 fans through 3 WNIT games. Tonight, the official count, 5,080. The Ducks are obviously used to big stages. They won at UTEP in front of 9,000 fans, but the Yotes fans are obviously adding something special tonight.
Now, there's a little extra magic inside the Dakota Dome here over the last week in change, Brad, but especially tonight. That 5,000 feels every bit like 7.
Yeah, it's been a great atmosphere here, and that's honestly that juice and that energy from this crowd has fed this USD offense.
Pull-up jumper for Seacamp. And a foul on the rebound will be charged to Madeline Homley. Homley, a freshman out of Kansas City. This is our first action in the WNIT. The Coyotes have tightened their rotation just a little bit since the end of the Summit League tournament, Brad. Homley has seen her minutes dissolved because of that, but she's out there tonight in the second half against the Pac-12 team in Oregon. She She's already gotten to the free throw line. Offensive rebound, McLeod. Putback won't go.
It's going to be probably impossible to think South Dakota's going to keep up this torrid shooting pace. What a tough call there going against Seacamp.
You thought these people were going to give the officials a break when they didn't agree with something because of the score? You're wrong. They were all over that one. Another turnover forced by Homily this time. Back come the Coyotes, Heidi Hoff. Amy Williams wanted a foul, didn't get it. Peterson. And now she's gonna pick up a foul on Seacamp, so quickly 2 added to her total for the night, that's 3.
Well, the good news if you're South Dakota is you could probably weather a few storms. That was certainly not a foul on Nicole Seacamp, but sometimes you're just, quite frankly, Jay, in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Looked like Peterson really got her own feet tangled up in what happened there.
Yeah. Again, USD's, they've got some margin to work with. That's been the benefit of playing as well as they played here in this game.
Pick and roll, backdoor find, Consorla to Vandenberg, and a nice finish. Bucks have scored 4 of the first 5 here in the 4th quarter. One thing, if you're Amy Williams, she knows what the score is. She doesn't want them to take their foot off the gas. Kelly Stewart knows that as one of these extremely experienced seniors.
Well, this is a team, Jay, that's played with great momentum in this WNIT tournament. They've had to win games a lot of different ways. It's been with their offense, for example, at Minnesota. It's been with their defense against Northern Iowa. And tonight, it's been on both ends.
The top, Vandenberg again. She got behind Liveringhouse. Liveringhouse trying to answer at the other end, won't go, under 7 minutes to play. 71-38 South Dakota.
And certainly South Dakota's offense, it's been off the charts in this game, but their DJ has been very stellar in this game. This is an Oregon team that, you know, averages 73 a game.
Zorla nearly got an incredible roll there as that ball bounced straight up off the iron. Yeah, when you're talking about what they can do offensively, they're 52% in the WNIT, shooting it from 3 tonight, 33% at 4-12.
Exactly, and then their overall shooting percentage in the 30s. I think the other impressive thing, only 1 offensive rebound for Oregon in this game. When you look at the fact that they have missed almost 30 shots, that's very impressive.
So, the 3-point shooting, 41% as a team. Tops in the nation, with just under 47% overall.
Yeah, which is a great shooting percentage as well. That's top 10 in the country.
E-Miller just has to chuck it up. Oh, are you kidding? She had no other choice but an overhand heave, and even that falls. Brad Newitt can't even talk right now. Literally has nothing to say.
I don't know what you can say. It's just unbelievable the way this game's gone.
Sometimes it's just your night. Probably the least conventional 3 that Ty E-Miller has ever hit in her career. I feel fairly safe in saying that. Foul on the rebound. That will go against Kate Liveringhouse, her 3rd.
Just like you draw it up. That was a line drive.
Well, did you see Amy Williams on the bench there? See if we can get a look at Amy here. Middle of your screen. Nope, it's going to cut out.
She wasn't too happy with the way things were looking on that possession, but it still ended up gold for her team. That
feels like maybe SportsCenter top 10 worthy.
Well, the shooting performance for South Dakota tonight is top 10 worthy.
In and of itself.
13 of 17 from behind the arc, including the prayer there by Miller.
Abigail Fogg replaces Kate Liveringhouse. Both players get a much deserved applause. Both have been very valuable off the bench tonight, as have all of the reserves that have gotten a chance to get in this game for the Coyotes.
Well, 30 bench points, and that's been a great boost for this team. And again, we talked about the depth of USD is certainly a strength of theirs.
Miller tried the conventional route that time, and it didn't work out as well. Trimboli, another second chance, and another second chance converted for the Coyotes. 15 points on second chance opportunities.
And again, they've only missed in this game 14 shots in the first half, and then you look here in the second half, Jay, they've only missed 12 shots in the second half, so there just haven't been that many opportunities for old boards. USD's made them pay, though.
Vandenberg back the other way, the and one. She'll be at the free throw line when we come back.
Well, when you hit 14 three-point shots on 19 attempts, it's going to carry you a long way. South Dakota's been feeling it here in the Dome, and they are rolling the Oregon Ducks.
This WNIT semifinal game on Midco Sports Network is presented by Shields, CU Mortgage Direct LLC, and Vern ID Motor Cars.
Take a look at the reaction here again on that Ty Miller shot. We'll see it better on the next angle. The heave as the shot clock winds down. She's got no other choice here, folks. It's either that or a shot clock violation. Nobody can believe what they saw there. Off the missed free throw. Got a lane violation called against South Dakota, so Vandenberg will get another chance to complete the three-point play. Four and a half to go. South Dakota that far away from a berth in the WNIT championship game. It'll be Saturday. They don't know who and they don't know where. They do know when.
2 o'clock Saturday Central Time. And the reason they don't know who, again, Florida Gulf Coast, Michigan, tangling tomorrow for the other team that will play in that championship game.
Abigail Fogg fouled and she goes to the rim and she'll step to the free throw line. Foul's called against Vandenberg. It's her third.
Certainly the question on every USD fan's mind is, will that game be played here in Vermillion? And certainly you look at this atmosphere, Jay, tonight and what the energy of this building's been. And I don't know how, if you're from the WNIT, how you can't love that and think that that could be a possibility to host the championship here.
Representative from the WNIT is about 4 people down from us, so he's got a great look at what all this is. And in the words of David Herbster, we heard him at the half, we submitted a very competitive bid.
Oh, that's good. We would like
Whatever
to hope that would
means,
happen, yes.
We'll see. But Coyotes hold on for this final 4 minutes, and certainly all indications are that they should have no trouble with that. Audie Gilden, her first bucket of the night for Oregon. Coyotes will have a very good chance of hosting that WNIT championship game here on Saturday against, as Brad mentioned, Michigan, Florida Gulf Coast playing in the other semifinal.
That game being played at Florida Gulf Coast tomorrow night.
Florida Gulf Coast, though, I'm sure, is going to submit a very competitive bid of their own if they survive that game. They have hosted every game in this tournament.
Yeah, they're a team that draws very well at home as well. They went undefeated in their conference. They got upset in their conference tournament, so it didn't make the NCAAs in the Atlantic Sun.
Minnesota native Grice. Number 51, a seldom used senior for Kelly Graves out there. Chance playing close to home for her.
Well, certainly this is going to be a tough end for Oregon to what's been a great postseason ride. But they're doing it at the hands of a team, Jay, that is just completely on fire from the perimeter tonight.
15 of 21. 71% from the three-point line is South Dakota in this game, and another turnover for the Ducks. It's number 11 for them. Allison Arns and Madeline Homily check in, replacing Abigail Fogg and Ty Heemiller, who are sent off with a standing ovation.
And rightfully so. And you just don't know as you're watching this game, is this possibly the last time they'll play in this Dakota Dome? I certainly hope not.
Madeline Homily with the field goal. We've been saying that for, what, about a month now?
Exactly. The dome simply won't die, and that's been the theme.
One of these days, Saturday at the very least, will be the last day.
Exactly.
We know that for basketball in this building. Moving next door next year, 6,000-seat arena. All the bells and whistles that you could possibly want. But this place has been an awfully good home for an awfully long time.
It sure has. It's been certainly a unique environment for basketball, but it's been a fabulous home court for this USD men and women's programs over the years. You think of all the championships won here.
Unique environment, but a tremendous home court advantage, no question.
Oregon's found that out firsthand. And this is an Oregon team. Again, they won a tough game 2 nights ago at UTEP in front of about 9,000 fans where they trailed 18. But USD had no part of that here tonight. They've had their foot on the gas the whole time. They haven't looked back.
It has been about as complete an effort as the Coyotes have put forth all season, and they've put an awful lot of good efforts forth this season. Bridget Arns finds her younger sister Allison Arns as the bench points continue to pile up for South Dakota.
It's great too that Amy Williams can extend her bench and let these players all experience playing in this environment.
Heidi Hoff, good hustle there, but couldn't get there in time as the ball rolls out of bounds. Yearwood checks back in. Gilden, 4 points for her now, all in this fourth quarter. Homily, too strong. One minute to play. South Dakota blows it in. They can smell it on the WNIT championship game.
Now this team has bounced back beautifully from the disappointment in Sioux Falls and losing in that Summit League tournament, Jay. And what a run they've gone on here.
Heidi Hoff has her shot blocked. Out of bounds. Coyotes keep it 17 seconds on the shot clock. Yearwood. No, reaching in there's Katie Grice. Hoff, though, gets another opportunity and knocks it down this time. The chant of "We're going to the ship" has started in the Coyote student section.
It's been awesome energy in this building. The students have provided a big part of that here tonight.
Zorla, so the finger roll finish. And the Coyotes can dribble it out. The fans know it, the players know it. Kelly Graves and the Ducks know it. The South Dakota Coyotes are moving on to the WNIT title game. 88-54 the final. They win the first ever meeting with the Oregon Ducks in impressive fashion.
What a shooting performance by USD from the perimeter. 15 of 21 from the three-point line. But Jay, they held Oregon, one of the best three-point shooting teams, the best by percentage in the country, to 5 of 14 from deep. They did it on both ends in dominating fashion.
That sign kind of says it all right there, Brad. Dome, sweet dome. Coyotes put 5,000 plus in the stands for the WNIT semifinals. Dakota Dome Magic very much alive here in Vermillion right now. They get the win, 88-54 to earn a spot in the WNIT championship game. Again, we know the win Saturday, 2 o'clock Central Time. The who and the where to be determined, but I think we're going to find out right now. WNIT championship game is coming to Vermillion, South Dakota. The Coyotes will host Michigan or Florida Gulf Coast at 2 o'clock Central Time Saturday afternoon here at the Dakota Dome. It's still not the last game in the Dakota Dome.
The Dome will not die. It will live to see another day.
Amy Williams, awfully excited about that. She's with Carl Betts.
All right, thanks, guys. Coach, it felt like your team didn't miss too many buckets tonight. What allowed you to keep that offensive rhythm?
Well, I've really never been a part of anything like that. I think our kids just really shot the ball well. They executed very well. They stayed in attack mode. They guarded the way we needed to. It was just the best I've seen our team play.
Your team seemed to overflow with confidence right from the start. I watched them. They put up a shot and start smiling. What's behind that confidence in a game like this?
Look at this crowd. I mean, we've definitely fed off their energy. It's just incredible. It's a special thing to be a part of. I've got chills right now, and it's no question our team fed off that tonight.
You just announced to these fans that you'll host the championship game. How important will that be on Saturday?
Well, we're just so excited about that opportunity for our team, for our program, for our fans. We want to go out of the dome with a win, so hopefully one more.
All right, thanks so much, Coach. Congratulations. Guys, the final score, 88-55. What a great night for this Yotes community, and really for mid-majors everywhere as they prove they can take on any Goliath.
Impressive win, to say the least. 88-54. Amy Williams and the Coyotes still playing. They're moving on to the WNIT championship game Saturday, 2 o'clock here in Vermillion against Michigan or Florida Gulf Coast. 88-54 over Oregon. Back to wrap things up for Vermillion right after this. Final score from the Dakota Dome. The South Dakota women moving on to the WNIT championship game. They get by Oregon 88-54. Brad knew it. The story not so much that the Coyotes won this game, it's how the Coyotes won this game.
Yeah, just dominating. And really on both ends, I think the headlines will be obviously how well USD shot the ball, Jay, but defensively, they shut down a very good Oregon offensive team as well.
They were up 14 at the half, and as we go to the second half highlights brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, Brad, things got worse for the Ducks. The Coyotes were even better in the third quarter.
Yeah, you didn't think it could happen, but USD went 5 for 5 from the three-point line in that third quarter, put 29 points on the board.
Bench play all night, just a huge part of the story. 38 points from USD reserves.
Well, they all shot it well, especially Caitlin Duffy, who was 4 of 5 from the three-point line, with great contributions.
Ty Heemiller was scoring in a variety of ways tonight, Brad. She finished with 13 points, also had 6 assists, and hit one of the more incredible shots you're ever going to see.
Yeah, she won't forget that shot anytime soon. Neither will the 5,000 people that were here.
Or Amy Williams, for that matter. But as we take a look at the sponsored stats brought to you by Montgomery's Furniture, Flooring, and Window Fashions, the shooting numbers just incredible.
Well, that's 54% overall for USD, but remarkably 71% from three. And you can see the rebound advantage as well. USD did a great job on the defensive board. Only 4 offensive rebounds for Oregon.
Plus 17 on the glass against the Pac-12 program. Brett, how about this? 23 assists on 34 made baskets. That's what they've been doing all year, though.
Exactly. This is one of the best assist ratio teams in the country in South Dakota. Just a well-oiled machine offensively that's playing at their best this time of year.
Again, here's a look at your semifinals from the WNIT. South Dakota moving on. They'll face Michigan or Florida Gulf Coast. The winner of that game, which will be played tomorrow night at FGCU. The championship game, though, right here at the Dakota Dome. One more time, one final time for real this time. 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon. That's Central Time. South Dakota getting an opportunity to win a postseason tournament, and a big one, a prestigious one, at the Division I level for the first time in program history.
And when you consider how little time South Dakota's been a Division I program, this is a remarkable opportunity for Amy Williams and for this senior class. And for the USD fans, Jay, to send out the Dakota Dome with a possible win and winning the WNIT, what a great stage that's being set for Saturday.
How about the atmosphere here tonight? 5,080 people came in to watch the Coyotes do that. 88-54 over Oregon. And the Coyote Craze is going to get a chance to come back and do it all over again on Saturday.
Well, if the energy is there Saturday like it is today, and I certainly expect it will be, it is going to be a tough road to hoe for whichever team has to come in here and try to beat this USD squad.
The Ducks ran into a buzzsaw tonight here in Vermillion. Coyotes moving on to the WNIT final, 88-54 over Oregon. For Brad Dewitt, Carla Benson, our entire MidcoSN crew, I'm Jay Elson. Thanks for watching.